Hey, 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 what do you say? Hey, it's Kevin. I'm with the Swypit Show. And of course, you're watching live today on the Success Network. Hey, don't forget to like, share, check out the other shows if you ever want to watch those. There's some in the history because, we've done a few of these. I think we were on our 10th or 11th show with the Success Network. Very excited to be a part of the Success Network. And I don't know if you know this or not, but even in the Success Network, there are other people that are really influential that might maybe they can help you in your life or something. Jack Canfield is in there, Nick Nanton is in there, and of course, Mr. Brian Tracy is in there. Jay Abraham, I think, might be in there. Man, we've got some really important, very influential, very smart people that might be able to help you in your career or whatever it is that you're looking to do in your life. You want to create some goals, man. You need to get with, of course, Mr. Brian Tracy. He's the king of goals. He's going to teach you some things about goals and how they can actually help you in your life. But if you listen to his show on the Success Network, well, you make sure you like his and do all that stuff. But obviously, I want to promote Swipe It and Kevin. But hey, listen, we're here and we're talking today about you know the details, the credit card processing, the how credit card processing works, and I'm going to tell you some of the nitty gritty things that happen behind the scenes because everybody just thinks that you're going to sign up and get your merchant account and all that good stuff, but it's a little more involved than just signing the paperwork and having a merchant account. And for you, obviously, you just want it to work, right? You want it to, you know, get paid. You want to be able to accept payments for whatever it is that you're offering your clients. But, you're in business, you've got to be working with the right people that know what they're doing, right? So here at Swipe It, we're always looking for innovative ways and new technology. And I am not a big, huge fan of integrated software, even though we do integrate with some. And I would say that it's going more and more where the software providers are kind of holding people hostage. And I'm telling you, you should never work with a company that's going to hold you hostage. When I say hold you hostage, they are a tech company. They've created the software. They know how to make it. They know what they're doing in that aspect. But then they partner with merchant service providers that will then in turn make you pay 40 and even up to 60% more in credit card processing fees. And you don't even know it. And that's why we don't suggest that. Always work with a company that's going to give you the ability to be able to move wherever you want to go when you want to. And that's an important factor right there. It's a small detail that people just aren't thinking about because they just don't know. And of course, when they say, "Oh, we guarantee will be the same," they're going to be the same price structures for about a day. Okay. Maybe a day. You literally are going to become a hostage, and you do not want to be a hostage because they just want you to get to use their product. When you start using their product, they just want you to go, I'm going to settle. I'll just settle. I'm not a settler. I hate. Have you ever seen the direct TV commercial about the settlers and they just, they settle upon mediocre TV? Well, you don't have to settle for credit card processing. You have a choice and you should have a choice. And that's why we at Swipe It give people choices. We make people's life so easy that when they come working with us, they have no idea what's going on in the background. They have no idea all the things that we do to make sure that they have a smooth transition to be working with us. They have a smooth way of things just working. They have a smooth way to contact us for obviously customer service or questions about their account. I don't know how many times I get a call, a text, an email, or one of our staff are involved with helping people make their lives easy. So, how does credit card processing really work? Well, the basics are you, the consumer, like I'm a consumer, I've got a credit card, and that credit card you basically will tap, chip, swipe, or somebody hand keys that information into a device, a software, a credit card machine, or whatever it may be to process that transaction. It then hits the network, which goes to the processing company. And after it goes from the processing company, it's going to go to your card issuer. Your card issuer is while it might have a Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover logo on it, there's actually a issuer of that credit card. And that issuer could be Bank of America. It could be Wells Fargo. It could be Capital One. What's in your wallet, right? Did you know that that commercial that you see, what's in your wallet? Do you know why they advertise that commercial? They advertise that commercial because they want you to use that card, right? Because what do you think? Do you think they're going to advertise their card that is going to pay them the least amount of money? No, of course not. They get us as consumers thinking, what's in your wallet? And then you get that credit card and you get all these points and all this stuff. Well, that is the most profitable card for Capital One. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, you get points and all that good stuff, but the merchant now pays the most to process that transaction. Now, that's not a bad thing necessarily. It's a good thing for everybody and all parties associated with it. But now it hits the network, and that credit card issuer says, hey, approved or declined. So you know what happens when there's a decline, right? Just out of curiosity, what do you think happens when you get a decline on your credit card? Waiting. I'm going to tell you what happens. You're broke. Your credit card, there's no money on it. Right? You gotta do something to make sure that that card is gonna work, right? You know, we get this call from merchants all the time. Hey, I got a decline on this credit card, and there's something wrong with our credit card system here. And I go, no, there's not. That is from the card issuer saying that their client, the one that you're trying to sell product to, is broker than broke. Get another card. A decline means decline. Do not honor that card. It could be that that card was turned off by the actual card holder because it's stolen. So when you get a decline message, ask for a different card. Guess what happens if you run that card again and it goes through? Well, the actual card holder can then call their card issuer, Citibank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, whoever it is, I don't know, and say, I just ran a transaction at this retailer and I decided I didn't want that to go through. And now what happens? Well, the customer just lied and they got their product for free. And now the customer's done a chargeback to their card issuer. And that chargeback, you're going to lose. You know why you, as the merchant, are going to lose that chargeback? Because the first one declined. Here's a little secret. When the card declines, do not keep trying to run it. Two things here. It's not going to magically have money in their bank account or their card. Okay. So that means that they're broke and you got to get a different card. Because if they call up their card issuer and their card issuer says that they're going to let it go through, and then they call up and do a chargeback, you lose your merchandise. I don't care if you're selling big screen TVs or you're selling widgets or you're selling cell phones. You can never win that chargeback. So there's a detail, a nugget of information for you to really pay attention to how all the things that are happening in the background that the processors that they're doing. So now you've taken that card, you've run it through the machine, you've tapped it, you've chipped it, you've dipped it, you have swiped it, you've hand keyed it, and it goes through. There's a 6-digit code that's given to every credit card transaction that's done. That 6-digit code is good for 7 to 10 days. So have you ever wondered why, you're a merchant and you did a refund to your client and then they call you up and they say, "Hey, I was there and we did a refund, but I don't have my money back yet." And you're like, "Okay, let me check." But the processors we use, they gave me they took the money and gave it to somebody. Where did it go? Well, the reason that the customer doesn't get their money back instantly is because the card issuer is going to float that money for about 7 to 10 days because there's an authorization code for that transaction already out there because you as the retailer have the right to be paid for that transaction and they want to make sure that it's accurate and it's true. So when a customer calls you up and says, "Hey, how come I didn't get my money back?" You say, "Hey, it's going to take 7 to 10 days to get your card issuer to give the money back." So if you want to speed up the process, please call your card issuer and say, "Hey, I was at that retailer and they gave me my money back. Now that they gave the money back, you, my credit card company, need to give me my money back." I don't know if they're going to do it because, well, they love to float our money. And that's how they make some extra cash here and there. And there's nothing wrong with it, but there's policies, procedures in place. And of course, you can yell and scream at everybody to get your money back. But here's another thing. Let's just say you were swiping a card 2, 3, 4 times and it was giving authorization codes 2, 3, 4, 5 times. You're actually putting holds on people's cards. That's why you don't wanna keep running somebody's credit card transaction. You don't wanna keep trying it or running them or by accident, this happens. You're really only supposed to do it once or twice. And of course, you could cause me maybe a problem, you as a consumer, your customers. You don't want them angry at you, but that's a part in the process. So now you've run the card, you've tapped it, you've chipped it, you've Google paid it, you've Apple paid it, Apple Pay, and the customer's card hits the network. The card issuer gives the 6-digit code. The 6-digit code is then sent back to you, and then it shows up, it's approved. And then at the end of the day, after you've done hundreds of transactions, hopefully, now the device or whatever it is that you're using, maybe it's a gateway, maybe it's integrated software, maybe it's just a credit card machine, and that credit card machine now will then settle, that gateway will settle all these things that you're using, virtual terminals, they settle. And then it gets sent to the processing company you have an agreement with to process the credit cards for like these hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of transactions that hopefully you've done. That system will then contact each card issuer and it's going to start grabbing all of the monies that are due to you. And then the processing company, they take those funds and they pool it all together into one deposit into your bank account. And hopefully that's done in the next 24 to 48 hours. And the processors have agreements with all the card issuers and all the networks and the things to get this done very seamlessly. We as consumers don't see any of those things happening in milliseconds. And I'll tell you, if you have ever been, old enough to be like I have been when your mother was at Macy's in New York City. And when I was a kid, I remember my mom would give a credit card. And then, of course, they would turn around and then they would give the credit card. They would take the knuckle buster and then they'd turn around and they would grab the phone and then they would dial into this number and they'd be holding and waiting and the line would getting bigger and people hated it when people took credit cards. They just wanted somebody to write a check. Can you believe people would write checks? And they were doing that. They were writing a check. Man, some of those people were bouncing all the way out the door, right? But, when I was a kid and you watched that transaction, it's really cool because they would call up the voice authorization. They would write the 6-digit code on the old knuckle buster thingamajobby, and people be on their way. It would take like 3 minutes to do a credit card transaction. Now they're done in seconds. And everybody got smart and they pulled everything together and it makes life easy and simple. One of the things that we do here at Swipe It to help our clients is we're looking for new and really cool equipment. And just on the credit card processing side, we have a new device out there, and this is a brand new equipment. I love Verifone. I've always really enjoyed the Verifone system and their devices. And this Verifone device here is in the cloud now. So this is what happens. You get a device like this. We have them here in the office and I've got them scattered around. We've been doing installs. But what we love to do is if you look here, this system here with the Verifone, it will automatically start downloading from the servers as soon as it connects through to the network. So we don't even have to press buttons to do downloads anymore. And then they send a heartbeat every 5 minutes. If there's an issue, a problem, we can then send a heartbeat out to this device. Now, these devices, they're so new that occasionally you got problems in the beginning before you can, just implement the stuff. So what I've done is I have everything sent to us first before we install everything to make sure it's working perfectly. I don't like surprises. None of our team likes surprises. And I know you, the merchant, doesn't like surprises either. So when you're looking to have the insides and the knowledge of what happens behind the scenes of how a credit card transaction works, well, it's like right here. This one says it's, if you can see that, maybe a little bit, it is actually downloading and it's checking for updates. So the cool thing is we're doing everything in our power to make sure that we limit the amount of downtime anybody would have. And if you just get arbitrarily machines in the mail and then you've got to call in and spend an hour and a half with somebody on customer service, let me tell you, if the device doesn't work when you get it, it's probably never going to work. So in the beginning, when we have new technology, we here at Swypit are going to make sure things are working before we send stuff out. Thanks, Melissa, for chiming in. Hope you're having a good time out there at the Car Wash Academy in Florida. And of course, we're here at Swypit and we've just rolled out. Guess what? I have a brand new website. And on our website, we have some really cool stuff. Ryan, bring in the website. You're going to see our website right here. And of course, one of our great clients here, if you want some barbecue in the DFW area, he does a good job. But of course, we've created this new website and the ability for people to have knowledge. And one of those things here up in the knowledge area is the FAQ, if you see it. Obviously, we've got testimonials about some of our clients. If you need a handyman, if you need some fish, want some barbecue, you want to join the chamber, you need some glass, you need to have your professional services and cleaning out your garages and stuff. There's some people that can help you there, Tanya. And then, of course, there's Deandra Simmons from the Housewives of Dallas. Of course, she's got a skincare product. These are just some of our people. We'll add some more while we're going to do this. I think we should probably have maybe 15 more testimonials. We can always do that. But what I want you to see is this FAQ section. And we have on this thing here, and it's loading them all. It's kind of cool how it loads them. But you can see how we have all kinds of questions, right? What's a settlement? So you click on it. Settlement is a process through a credit card issuing bank exchanges funds with an acquiring bank to complete a cleared transaction. Clearing and settlement occur simultaneously. I just told you exactly how that works. Card issuer goes to the processor, 6-digit code. We go pull the monies. We send them to your bank. Basically, there's all kinds of things that happen. And here's one. It says decline. Declined is an attempted transaction for which a card issuer denies authorization. If a request for approval is declined, the merchant must ask for an alternative. Listen, I don't make this stuff up. I haven't looked, I haven't clicked on that FAQ button for declined messages, and I don't know. It's got to be 5, 7 years. But I'm just seeing what it is that we did put there, and you watched it live. We don't make things up here at Swipe It. But of course, there's other things here about payment processing. There's some good things here that people will ask us, and I kind of like send them here. But what I love to show people more is the actual Mastercard interchange rates, and I'm going to show you what the actual interchange rate for that Capital One card is, or your American Airlines card. You got to come down here and click on all the stuff for MasterCard. You can actually go there and see the rates all yourself. Everything we do is transparent. We don't like secrets. We don't want to cause anybody any issues and or problems. And my goal is to always be upfront with clients. But of course, you know what, we're going to do a little something different here today as well. We're coming up to the last few minutes, you know, um, of the show. And of course, here on the Success Network, my big military appreciation night that, of course, the producers of a lot of Emmy Award winning things have flown in to help me with my military appreciation night here in the DFW area. And we're going to show what it's like to be at an event that I'm a part of for the past 10 years and really enjoy being a part of. It's my military appreciation night. Enjoy the next 6 minutes. And of course, Ryan, go ahead and feed that in.
Back here in Frisco, Texas, Texas Legends and South Bay Lakers on a very special night as it is Military Appreciation Night, presented by Swypit, benefiting the Folds of Honor and the American Fallen Soldier Project. With us from Swypit, we have Kevin Hodes. Kevin, you're very closely tied with Military Appreciation Night here for the Legends. You have been for some time. First off, tell us what it means to you to be able to present this night.
Oh my gosh, you know, Ryan, when people have signed up and they've sacrificed everything and giving up their life for the freedom that I have today, because I know my freedom's not free, that is really a special kind of person that's willing to put their life on the line for you and I.
Tonight's one of the Texas Legends flagship nights of the season. It's our Military Appreciation Night presented by Swypit. And tonight's really about recognizing a whole lot of people who have sacrificed a lot for all of us to be able to enjoy things like this game tonight. Every single person in the stands tonight has a family member or a friend of the family who has sacrificed and served our country to protect us, to protect others, to, at the end of the day, make this world a better place. Tonight's about celebrating those who can't be here to celebrate with us.
Gold Star families are and should be the most respected people on the planet. They've just really paid the ultimate sacrifice. It's not just a basketball game, it's not just a night that we're sponsoring, it's actually doing good things and helping others.
Tonight, I will tell you, we are going to do something special we have never done before. It is going to be, I think, a moment where people are going to stop and thinking and realize freedom isn't free. There's a cost to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you Phil Taylor. Phil Taylor's been painting portraits of our fallen heroes to bring some closure to our families for 15 years.
The organizations that we are partnering with tonight, Folds of Honor and American Fallen Soldiers Project and Phil Taylor, and have that loved one be on a portrait in their home to remember them by, and the impact it can have on those families, and it's second to none.
Most of these guys, they're not viewable, in the casket. The portrait has reconciliation and restoration capacity for the families. I can do something for them where they can stare at it, in their living room or dining room or wherever they want to put that portrait, where, he or she stares back at the family. It's almost like a coming home moment.
This is his first portrait presentation in more than 2 years. And it's not only emotional for those who we present the portrait to, but I know that it's emotional for Phil as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Sarah lost her dad suddenly in the line of duty on Easter of 1995. So Phil, tell us just a little bit about this portrait.
Sarah, I did the best I could. I think you'll see that beautiful face, the same dimples I see in your face actually right now, to be honest with you. So it's been an honor and a pleasure.
I was 6 years old at the time of my dad's accident. I was the oldest child. My younger brother, Brian, was 4, and I'm so grateful because I do have such distinct memories of obviously my dad and just who he was as a father and just the games we used to play and all that kind of stuff. My dad flew F-15s, and he went out for a routine flight check off the coast of North Carolina where they were practicing formations, and something went wrong and they were forced to eject, and we received that fateful knock at the door the next morning. I was thinking just how bummed and disappointed I was that he would never be here to celebrate another birthday with me, which is so silly, but I guess that's what's important to you when you're 6. It really wasn't until my sophomore year at Auburn that I discovered the Folds of Honor, and I quickly applied for a scholarship and was very fortunate to receive one. And I think even more than that, just to know that there was a group of people at the Folds of Honor who cared about the sacrifice that my dad made, I think meant more to this Gold Star daughter than I could ever put into words. I now work full-time for the Folds of Honor, and it has come full circle, and it's a huge gift and a huge honor and a huge blessing to be able to work for an organization that's given so much to me, and just to come alongside families that have walked a similar path that we once did, and to provide some sense of hope and just encouragement in a really dark time.
Here he is, your father, our hero, Vince White.
can never make the death of a loved one go away, but we can help heal, and they can be having some sort of comfort seeing their loved one every day, because it's going to be there, that portrait.
The reality is that the entire family gave a huge sacrifice, but we don't necessarily see that one every day that they're out in the world. And they sacrificed as well, and it's a way for us to thank and honor them as well.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our big military appreciation night. Obviously, it'll be there. You'll see it on other things. We'll probably post it on the Success Network. It'll be out there on social media and LinkedIn and all those good things. If you want to see it, you can always go there to check it all out on YouTube and Facebook and all that good stuff. But of course, today's show was all about, you know, how does credit card processing actually work? And if you are interested in working with a company that has the details, that knows all the ins and outs about how credit card processing does work, so you don't have to worry about it and you do what you do, we would love the opportunity to help you. But more importantly, you can see also where profits from our company go, and that's helping families of disabled and fallen soldiers. And it's my pleasure to always be the military appreciation night for the Texas Legends each year. It's the DG League for the Dallas Mavericks here in the DFW area that's owned by Mark Cuban. And Mr. Malcolm Farmer is the president of the G League team. And always thank him for all he does and his team as well. So, of course, I thank Nick Nanton and his team for doing all the stuff that they did, and thank everybody for being there. And of course, Andrew White and Michael Goldsmith and Brenda that helps with everything through all the things that we do in the background. But it's really all about the details. If you like this video, please like it. If you want to share it, please share it. But of course, we're here for you, and we're the Swypit team of professionals, and we've been doing this for a long time. But more importantly, when you are looking for a real good team of people, we are those people for you. Enjoy your day, and again, remember to do what you want when you want. This is the Swypit Show on the Success Network.